Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com here with match number 1 with the Boros Budget Burn, or Boros Budget Tempo. Yes, we'd like to play first. This is very good. This is a keepable hand. We have the first turn Swiftspear, Young Pyromancer, Boros Charm, Seeker of the Ways. Definitely a great card. We'll see how the power of Seeker in Modern, see if it actually is worthwhile. Card that I thought we probably need in this deck with wanting to keep Seekers and Kiln Fiends alive is going to be Apostle's Blessing. So we will start off here with the Battlefield Forged and Swiftspear it up. And then Apostle's Blessing also works with Swiftspear pretty well. Just with 1 mana, we can keep it alive and pump it up and get in there for 1. So we'll see what we're up against. I'm hoping to have a slow, like a Tron match would be perfect because I think we have Ideal over Tron. It's going to be Infect, which we should. With this hand, we have a bad hand versus Infect with no removal. And especially if he can, if he taps out Signal Pest, Memnite, this is going to be a little bit hard for us to deal with. I wonder if we just go Seeker the Way here, or if we go Young Pyromancer to try to get some advantage. I think we need to do Seeker, even though the Inkmoth Nexus could get with Infect. We're going to go Seeker the Way, and then attacking with the Swiftspear for 1. So not liking to see that land, but at least it gets us another threat on board. And down to an 18, it gives us something that can actually lifelink, which might be very, 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 very necessary in this match. There's another Inkmoth Nexus. The card we need to worry about is Arcbound Ravager, as that can do lethal with Infect damage on the Inkmoth Nexus at any point. Wear Tear and Stony Silence are going to be beautiful out of the sideboard. And it's going to be an Etched Champion. Yeah, Etched Champion's actually pretty good here. He gets in for 1. And unfortunately, the Etched Champion, main boarded Etched Champion, to be very rough for us. I still think the right play here is going to be another Seeker. So no point attacking in. We'll just pass the turn. The problem with Etched Champion is he does make it so no damage will be done. He's out of cards though after this last Spellskite, so he doesn't have the best aggressive draw ever. And he's only getting in for a whopping 3 damage here with the Signal Pest. So we can't get past the Spellskites. I think we just continue to flood out the board with... There's another... We can do Swiftspear and Pyromancer here. So we're drawing all of our creatures, which isn't ideal. But we've got a lot of damage on board coming up. We're down to 12. He just gets another Memnite. I wonder if he just starts going for the Inkmoth Nexuses. Yeah, he's going to activate the Inkmoth Nexus and try to get me with Infect damage, which is going to be 4 per turn, and that is rough. He's got the Spellskites as backup. I could kill off a Memnite here. He's going to keep it back. That's smart. He's just going to go Infect damage, and that's most likely going to be the way. We're on a 3-turn clock, and I don't see us able to aggro him out with just 1 spell, which is unfortunate because our entire deck is full of spells. So you kill Young Pyromancer with an Etched Champion. I think what we do is we just throw another Pyromancer out, and then we'll attack him with everything. We have to at this point. We have to try to race him, which I don't think is going to work without the removal. And he's got these Spellskites to protect Inkmoth Nexuses. Yeah, he wants me not to gain life, so there's the Etched Champion, a Spellskite on a Swiftspear, and a Swiftspear. Yeah, so they're not going to die no matter how I do this. And that's great blocks from our opponent, because he's going to kill the Young Pyromancer. He's going to keep back a Spellskite in case somehow I can pump it up more. And do I just let this go through without a Boros Charm because I need to pump those even more? Because I'm only doing a whopping... I'd lose a Seeker if that's the case. So maybe I went a little fast with the Boros Charm. We'll do 4 damage to him and stack all these. Unfortunately, not get that much out of all of these triggers. He just has a very good hand against ours, and only getting in for 2 and getting rid of a lowly Memnite is all. So we're back to him attacking in with... There's a Blink Moth that actually, now that puts us on a 2... Well, it's still a 2-turn clock with the Ink Moths. And I don't see us coming out of this. Even with him, just him attacking with the Signal Pest and the Ink Moths. I mean, if there's a way to get rid of the Signal Pest, it would give us one more turn, but he's got the Spellskite to get around that, and I don't think there's anything I can draw into that's going to save us. So Lava Spike, definitely not, because it's sorcery, we have to use it. He's down to a 9, all of these triggers happen. And yeah, he easily can just block. All right, we'll go on to the next one. And here comes our hate, at least. We'll keep in the paths are really good in this one. I think that Molten Rains are decent. It gets rid of his Inkmoth Nexuses, which are huge. And the Stony Silence can't do anything. So I think we might just go into this whole kind of strategy that hates him out. Now, I got to think, is he going to run Whip Flare? Because Whip Flares, I think he will, with the particular, we saw a red mountain in his, and that's kind of a sign that he could be running Whip Flare. I still think that, like, Forked Bolt is good. Maybe, like, Kiln Field, because he clogs the board up. Isn't that great? We're going to go down in the creatures. Now watch us not draw a creature. And then I think even Boros Charm might be a little bit weak. Because what we want to do with this is actually go the tempo route with Young Pyromancer as the victor. Mutagenic Growth, I think, can come out too. They're weakish. And maybe even like a Gitaxian Probe. I still want to play the lower land count as possible. Or Lava Spikes are weaker than Boros Charms. So I think Boros Charms can come back in. Boros Charms can come back in. And I kind of want a Kor Firewalker, even though... Because he's trying to be dishing out a lot of damage. I'm going to just bring in 1 Kor Firewalker, and we'll submit this. So, again, I think we have more of a sideboard versus him than he does versus us. Yes, we like to play first. Here's a Wear Tear. We keep this, even though we have no creature in sight. We have a bunch of paths. Sometimes you just need to slow down the Infect, and we'll start off with a Mountain and pass the turn. What would make this ideal would be a Young Pyromancer, because all of our spells would actually gain some significant value. So there's the Inkmoth Nexus. That's going to be... Welding Jar gives something, he regenerates it, but it's just basically going to affect one guy. I'm going to bolt off the Ornithopter. TV Welding Jars. I can't believe he did that, because now I think we just wear the Arcbound Ravager while he can't activate anything. Well, I guess he still can. Maybe path it, and then wear his other guy. Oh, that's the play. There we go. Stony Silence is going to come out. And he's going to sacrifice the Arcbound Ravager. Or the Mox Soul to the Arcbound Ravager, as Stony Silence does. Now he can't. And even the Ornithopter. Wow. Okay, so... He's going all out on the Arcbound Ravager. We can path it at any point. We can tear it or wear it. And we do now we're the opposite. We need to find a way to deal with. Yeah, I think that actually path the exiling is a little bit better, because we can still Forked Bolt. I don't need to Forked Bolt quite yet, and we can just do it at any time. So we need to draw into a creature now. He can still activate his Inkmoth Nexus, too. And there's a Blink Moth. He can even activate his Blink Moth for his Inkmoth. So, possibly, is damage off of just an Arcbound Ravager going to be a thing? Is the issue we have here. Because I'd rather just kill off the Inkmoth Nexus. But Wear can literally take care of anything. If If I path the Ravager, I just take one. One infect is not a problem at the moment. We'll just path the Arcbound Ravager. He has plenty of mana for anything. We can actually kill the Glimmer Void beginning of the end step if he has no artifacts. Yeah, so we can well no. So maybe I should have killed the Ink Moth here. So he Galvanic Blast while he still has Metalcraft, and there's nothing I can do that. Okay, so and he'll put that. Oh geez, on the vault. I forgot that's not an activated ability, so he's gonna gain some life off of it too. But then it's gonna allow us to tear the Vault Scourge. So down to a 13. He doesn't actually have a basic land, really. Oh, because he sacked it in response, yeah. So, maybe we just tear off the Vault Scourge and then he has to sack the Glimmer Void. And then we'll have a Molten Rain eventually for the Ink Moth. So, I think that's a good... yeah. So now, the Glimmer Void dies. And he's down to one card in hand. I think he's going to try to just go on Infect with the... Yeah, well, there's his strategy. Going to go on damage with the Blink Moth, huh? So we do need to draw into one more. So it costs 1 to actually activate. Yeah, we need to actually draw into one more red source. Ah, there we go. Here we're having the exact opposite problem. We need that Swiftspear to gain us the tempo each turn. And he can still, everything he draws into is still very much relevant. But we'll Helix this guy down. And puts us back up to a 15. Gets rid of another land. And the Vault Scourge I'll probably just end up Fork Bolting at this point. I want to get value out of Fork Bolt. There we go. There's our Swiftspear. We'll path the Vault Scourge just to... He can go get his land if he's got one. He does. And just to do 2 damage. He can Whip Flare it now, though, if he's got one more Whip Flare in hand. A Mox Opal that cannot be activated, and a Glimmer Void that's going to die at the end of turn. So he's going to do some Infect damage. This is our game to lose, though. We're so far ahead at this point. Fork Bolt's weird if he casts anything else. Because Glimmer Void is going to die on his turn. Another path. Get him down to a 17. And hopefully draw that third land. And, oh, he's got the Mox Opal. So, yeah, it doesn't matter as much. So, I wonder if I just use a path to kill anything. I'm still not in any danger from Infect or... Yeah, I think we just wait. We don't even worry about these. There's the mountain. So, now we have Molten Rain. I guess we're more worried about Infect at this point, or still damage. It's about pretty even. Blink Moth's a little bit more powerful than Ink Moth, I would say. No, we'll get rid of the Ink Moth. And get in there for 2. So really good shape now. Have the Fork Bolts to deal with anything. 13 all. The Prowess is going to be significantly powerful. Yeah, we Fork Bolt the Signal Pest. Well, this will help see what's in his hand. Just a Spell Pierce. And he can't even... Yeah, if we activate the Fork Bolt, he can't even use it, so... Well, he can now. So, do I just use it right now, Forked Bolt, and then cast Yes? With Forked Bolt, the Signal Pest... which he can Spell Pierce if he wants. to make me spend the 2. And that avoided a spell. I mean, that's still an extra damage that... Yeah, and we'll attack him for 4 here. I don't think there's really anything he can draw into to get him out of this. Down to an 8. Whip Flare, I guess, could wipe our board. Galvanic Blast. I have to have a target, though. Yeah, that's fine. I would say we could path something. I mean, that keeps him in this game, sort of. I mean, he has to keep finding answers for him. Another Plains. We'll get in here for the Swiftspear for 1. Get him down to a 7. I guess it really is top deck because we're running out of removal. He's got the Spell Pierce left and 1 other. I don't think I care about 1 damage. I'd rather keep his board clear. Yeah. Helix is going to be great. Down to a 6. I could have Helixed right there and then gone for a kill the next turn, but it still has end a turn with a Fork Bolt, so it is a kill. Still Blinkmon Nexus and 1 other. I want him to activate this. See if he does. He does not. So, in a turn here, do I just Lightning Helix him? Or, I mean, there's really not much he can do. Yeah, we'll Lightning Helix him. And go back onto the sideboard. Yeah, I still think that's the way to go, is through our more hate cards rather than... I don't know about Kor Firewalker. It actually seems weak here. I think I'd rather have a Kiln Fiend in here. I do want more tempo cards, though. So I think I want the Kiln Fiend back in here for sure. Maybe for a Boros Charm. Even though Boros Charm's 4 damage, it's quite significant. I'll submit this. I don't know about this. I don't think we can keep this. Just a Lightning Bolt and a bunch of Swiftspears with a first turn. I'm going to go ahead and... I think mulligan this. Can this... He mulligan. I'll keep it. I don't know. We need to land desperately off the top. And see, the retreat comes into play tapped. But he doesn't have the greatest start. Probe is nice. We can see what's in his hand to try to draw a land. He has Spellskite, Mox Opal. We're in no threat. He doesn't have any like the Arcbound or the Cranial Plating. And wow, we actually get the card we need. So, I mean, this is the time we can just get rid of the Vault Scourge right off the bat. But I would like to just get some pressure. So I think this is the right line of play. He'll Spellskite next turn. And he is drawing cards, so he can easily draw out of this. And we have the Molten Rain that can take care of the Inkmoth Nexus. So here comes Spellskite. Which will have to be taken care of, but at the moment... This does come to play tap. That's annoying. I think if he blocks, we still bolt it off. The Spellskite. Okay, so he doesn't take the bait. We will put out this other Swiftspear. Now if we have significant damage out. The Ink Moths are going to be very, very weird to Cranial Plate. Now this is where it gets hard for us. Yeah, ouch, 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 ouch. This is 5 life linking damage. The Cranial Plating was a really, really good top deck. I mean, it was pretty even for what we had. And the Spellskite's going to give it a little bit. So what I need is another Lightning Bolt here. But I don't think he's... And there it is. So this is really rough. we can at least make him redirect some damage to himself and take a lot of damage here. Then we still have to drop into another top deck. All he needs to do is not block. Well, here's where we do it. I think we have to do this, unfortunately. Oh, did he have a Spell Pierce? Did we not see the Spell Pierce? Or is that the other card he drew? Oh, he's just debating whether to use it for the life or for the damage. Now, we do have some cards that can draw out of this, though. But if it wasn't like a Vault Scourge and the, like, that's the best thing for the cranial plating. Can you just kill me here with a activation of everything? If he just activates. Goes down to a 14. And I think if he might just be able to just flat out kill me. Just by, yeah, using them all to activate. 6. And he's tapping out. He's going to a... And does he have the Galvanic Blast? Is that the last card in hand he has? And he does. He's got the Galvanic Blast. So, unfortunately, that's that. I think this shouldn't be a terrible matchup. Maybe that wasn't a keep. Maybe we should have relied on some more hate cards. Of course, the second turn Stony Silence would have done it. Right? No, because we had these coming into play tapped. And yeah. So anyway, lose our first game. We'll go on to the next one here. I'm thinking Apostle's Blessing wants to be in here, but I'll keep the list the same, and we'll go on to the next match. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Playing on a Budget. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Gathering Magic and check out our Playing on a Budget playlist, which contains every episode. Thanks again, and hope to see you soon.